All right, brother. Thank you. I'm good. All right, all right. What's up, Staten Island? What's up, Staten Island? All right, well, cool. All right, well, I'm just going to share with you guys for a little bit. Then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. But what I need you to do, I need you to work with me while I'm talking to you. I need you to work with me while I'm talking to you because we're here for a purpose, because we're people of purpose. We're not here to just have fun and entertain you and waste time. We're actually here to pour something into your life and help you prayerfully, if you want to be helped, clear your vision to see that your circumstances are really not as important as you make them to be. That you can overcome your circumstances regardless of what's going on around you right now, regardless of what you don't have or whoever you think you need, that you can get out, that you can rise above no matter what people say. Because you know, life is never about what happens to us. It's really more about what happens in us. Because bad things happen to good people all the time, all around the world. But the great thing about it is we were built and we were created to be overcomers. We overcome things. Everybody runs a race. Everybody gets tired. But the difference is most people quit. They quit. So we want to talk today about not quitting and how we do that. But when I talk to you, I need you to help encourage me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I get tired up here. I've been talking all day, and I need you to help me. So on 3, I need you to give me 2 claps. 1, 2, 3. Amen. I like that. Yeah. Talk to me. On 3, give me 1 clap. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, now let's get deep into it. On 3, give me a half a clap. 1, 2, 3. You guys are good. I like that. Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about myself and my story. My name is Anthony Bonner. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Just like you, went to high school, was blessed to graduate from high school, was the first one in my family to graduate from high school out of 6 children. And my little brother followed, he graduated from me. The moral of that story, before I go any further, is some of us will be the first in our families to do things. Some of us have been chosen to be the first. That's another reason why we can't quit, and we have to keep going, because we have brothers, sisters, cousins, neighbors, other people looking at us who are following behind us, and we have to be the trailblazers to be the first to get out. But in being the first is quite challenging. You know why? Because when you're the first, you don't have an example in front of you. So you're walking into uncertain territory. You're walking in paths that have never been laid before. You're setting those paths. So you have to be a lot braver and have a lot more courage than everybody else around you, because your friends may have brothers or sisters who did it before. You know, your family members may have other people who did it. But you're the first to do it, so you have to have courage. And after graduating high school, I was blessed to go to college, play basketball. Graduated from college, was blessed to be drafted in the first round by the Sacramento Kings with the 23rd pick. Played 3 years in Sacramento, 2 years in New York, a year in Orlando, and 10 years in Europe. So imagine a young man from a place that they called a ghetto, a place that they called a hood, a place where the world labels that nothing good can come out of it, just like here. A place that went to an inner city high school that was 99% black, 3,500 students, where people labeled it as nothing, people that didn't have potential, that they were going to live a miserable existence. These are the things that they say. But who are they? They are nobody. There are people with an opinion. There are people who didn't create you. There are people who have no influence over where you're going and what you're doing unless you allow them to have it. So after playing in the NBA and playing basketball, I did like most people do, and everybody in here, I did what you call life. We live life. And in life, things happen. Things like sickness, things like death, things like divorce, things like children getting out of control, things like depression, things like people on drugs, things like family members being victims of drive-by shootings. All those things happen. And unfortunately, they can be devastating to a family. They can be devastating to a spirit, to a mind, to a young person trying to achieve something great. They get sidetracked. They don't have support systems around them. They think nobody understands them. They get depressed. They quit. How do you handle it? Well, you can't. You can't. Your high school diploma won't help. Your degree won't help. Sometimes a coach or a teacher won't even help. You know, for me, I found myself in a situation, and I only share my testimony at times when I think I need to relate to you, to show you that beautiful things can come from ugly situations. You see, it doesn't matter, again, what happened to us. It matters what happened in us, because you don't stay at one level because something happened to you, Because that one bad situation can actually be a doorway for great things to happen. There's this song that I like, and I love this song. This song is called He Makes Beautiful Things. He makes beautiful things out of us. And the lyrics simply say, and if you can feel this after me, I'm going to ask you to give me 2 claps if you feel this and it's your story, because it really does something to me. It says, all this pain, I wonder if I'll ever find my way. I wonder if my life could really change at all. If you hear me, give me 2 claps. No. We don't do that, bro. 2 claps. 1, 2, 3. Good job. You see what I'm saying? It says, all this pain, I wonder if I ever find my way. Is there anybody here wondering if you'll ever really find your way? Talk to me. Just raise your hand. Don't be ashamed now. Because one of the things you got to realize, fortune favors the bold. You got to be bold and realize I'm not my situation. It's just a situation. I may not have created it. I may have been born in it. I could have inherited it. But guess what? It can change. There's a book that I love to read, and I love reading this book, and this book does something to my spirit. It makes me stand up when I want to lay down. When I read this book, it makes me know that I'm more than a conqueror. When I read this book, it keeps my head looking to the sky to know that today it may be dark, but if I can just have the courage to take one more step, I'm taking a step in a direction that could make it better. And that's all we're asked to do, is to take another step, because how many know success and progress doesn't happen overnight? It is a continuous movement of one step at a time, and the steps have to be in the direction that you're going. The steps can't be doing the moon slide, taking steps backwards. You got to keep walking forward. And the challenging thing is you got to walk with people who are going in the direction you're going in. You know, a lot of us like to be part of the crowd. And you know, no good things comes out of the crowd. The most fascinating bird God ever made was an eagle. Anybody like eagles? Y'all don't like eagles? I love eagles. Do you know that an eagle, when he stretches out his wings, can be at least 6 feet tall? An eagle, minimum, they can be 6 feet tall. They can even be taller. Another great thing about the eagle is they fly close to the sun. They fly the highest. They do. But the greatest thing about the eagle is they're a solitary bird. They don't fly with other birds. They don't fly in packs. They don't fly low. You know, there's a great story about an eagle that I heard somebody told me once. There was an eagle flying one day, and he was flying over a chicken yard, and he looked down and he saw a baby eagle. Because this eagle one day had fallen out of a nest, out of a mountain, out of a cliff, and he fell down here with these chickens, and he hatched, and the mother chicken, being a mother, like mothers are, began to love this bird. And this bird, even though it was different and it outgrew them all and it didn't do what chickens do, it took on the mentality of a chicken, because it grew up around chickens in a chicken environment, in a chicken yard. So the eagle one day flying high looked down and he saw him, and he go to himself, what is he doing down there? Doesn't he know he's not a chicken? So he flies down in the yard, stop, boom, he sees the bird and he tells the bird, he goes, what are you doing here? You're not a chicken. Come fly with me, let's go see some things and do some great things. The eagle goes, no, I can't fly. I'm not an eagle, I'm a chicken. So he goes, no, you're not, you're an eagle. Come on, let's fly off. So the other eagle flew off, and the other eagle tried to fly, but he couldn't do it because he had in his mind he was a chicken, because he was hanging around other chickens, but he was not born to be on the ground. He was born to fly and soar by the sun in the stars, higher than any other bird. And I think that's us as human nature. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. We want to have friends. So we walk around people who desire to be chickens when we were designed to be eagles. You see, greatness costs. Anything you want that's great, any name brand, anything. And I know in your generation, we'll just use Michael Jordan. People love Michael Jordan's shoes because he was a great player. They look good. They're fashionable. Everybody likes them. But when they come out and the line is around the corner to get them and they cost $165, you're going in there with $165. You're not going in there with $85 saying, give me a break or hook me up, or $120. You're going to pay what it costs. Excellence, success costs what it costs. There are many sacrifices. In order for a tree to grow and bloom, sometimes you have to cut off branches and prune the tree. Your life has to be pruned for success. Many people that you're friends with right now, you won't be friends with next year or the year after or when you graduate, because you're headed somewhere, and when you're going somewhere, you got to make some tough choices and you got to leave some people behind. But will you be brave enough to do it? Do you want it bad enough? How bad do you want to get out of your situation? Again, in this book I'm telling you that I read, it doesn't talk about that education is the way, that you got to be super smart, because that would eliminate a lot of us. I'm not smart. I graduated from school. I have an average IQ, not dumb or stupid at all, but I'm not super smart. So I would be eliminated from that smart class. I'm not super gifted. I was blessed to play basketball. I wasn't an NBA all-star or anything great. I got there because I played hard. I could rebound, I played defense, and I love the game, and I can adapt and play any role I'm asked to play. Even if that's to hand out the towels or do the water, I can do that. That's not why I made it. That's not why you're going to make it, because everybody's not going to work hard. But he's given us some common denominators of why we can make it, because there's been a way paid for us to make it that guarantees we will make it if we will open ourselves up to find out what that is. You see, nobody was designed to be a loser. We're all capital W winners. If you hear me, give me 2 claps. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say it again. We're all winners. Give me 2 claps. Nobody's a loser. It may look like you're behind right now and somebody's ahead of you, but remember, this is not a 100-yard dash. This is a marathon. You can catch up. It may look like they're ahead of you in the 10th grade, the 11th grade. They may be ahead of you in college. They may be ahead of you 2 years out of college. But it doesn't matter, because it's like going to the gym. For me, sometimes I go to the gym and I still work out a lot, and I can get in there and there can be an older person on there, or a person who looks like they're out of shape, and I can have my treadmill on 6.5 and they can have theirs on 8.0. And I'll go, man, that's embarrassing. But really, it's not embarrassing, because I'm on the treadmill. They may be running faster. They may look like they're not in great shape, but guess what? They're doing their own workout. You're running your own race because you learn at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't give people permission to make you feel bad about you and where you are not, because it's not about where you're not, it's about where you're going. Does anybody in here want to do something great and be used greatly? Raise your hand. Don't be ashamed. Be bold if you want to do something great and you want to be used greatly. Oh, that's not enough hands. That means the rest of you just want to come see, come saw, and take life as it comes. You don't want to dictate what happens. You see, you got to be bold to make things happen, and you got to speak things and believe things before they ever happen. You can't wait for it to happen and then say, oh, I knew it was going to happen. It doesn't work like that. You got to be bold, young people. You got to be bold, and you got to go after what you want and give it your best shot, and realize that everything else you need will just come to you. People tell you, go out and get it, make everything happen. No, I don't believe that. I believe you have to do your part, and I believe if you do your part, the universe makes sure that you get everything else you need. Now, I know we got a limited amount of time. I know I've said a lot, so I want to open it up to questions, and I really want you to reach inside of you and ask me anything you want, because you have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with all of us here. There's no guarantee we'll ever meet again or see each other again. And I'm here because I want to be here, because I love young people and I love people in general, and I love helping people get up from a fall. I love helping people come out of darkness into the light and realize that you are great. You just don't know it. You don't know it. Again, it doesn't matter if mama's not there, daddy's not there, whether you live in a 1-bedroom or a 15-bedroom house, whether you walk to school, you drive a car, who graduated, who didn't graduate in your family, none of that matters. That's their story. That's not your story. History has been written, but it was meant for it to be continuously written, not to stop. February, we celebrate Black History Month, and it's exciting, but it's also sad, because life was not designed for simply us to study Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these other people we study. No. Their stories were written so we can see them and say, I dare to pay the price that they paid and have my name written just like that. That's what that's about. Yeah, we ride on their shoulders, but guess what? There's generations coming behind us that want to ride on your shoulders, who need to ride on your story. Give me 1.5 claps. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Any questions? Let's open it up. Who's going to be the first brave young high schooler? What we got right here. See, this is my man. He was brave when I walked up. As soon as I walked up, he already had his light on, like, here I am.
Nah, like, what is it like to be a professional athlete?
What's it like to be a professional athlete? Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse. You see, anytime you can be given stuff too soon. You know, I read a book about two brothers, and in this book it talks about this one brother who his father had gave him his inheritance, and he took this inheritance and he went out and he blew it. And after he had blew it all, he found himself in the world and eating out of a hog pen. But when he was in that hog pen and everything was shut down and all the doors, he went back home and apologized to his father, and he was received in his house. That's what being a professional athlete is about. You can get something too soon, and if you don't have the character to handle where your talent has taken you, the world will eat you up, because the enemy is sitting there waiting, because you got everybody telling you you're the best thing since sliced bread. You got all the honeys coming at you. You got the cars. You're hanging around everybody else, and you really believe this foolishness, but really you're just a target, and you don't have the character to handle it. So it can be a blessing if you're prepared, or it can be a curse. And there's only a small window. Very few people make it. So for all of you guys in here who are sure you have New York game and you're going to go to the NBA, let me tell you something. Have another plan. Have another plan. So if that doesn't work, you're not devastated. Don't put all your identity in being an athlete, because it's overrated. It's just a platform to change lives. It's not about being famous or rich or known. It's a platform that you've been given to help other people get up on the platform, not to look down on them, but to help them get up on the platform where you are. Anybody else? Right here.
You use a lot of scripture, and what you say to people, was God a big influence in your career?
Yes, sir. So what was the first part of the question? I'm sorry.
I said I noticed that you use a lot of scripture and what you talk to people, what you say to people.
Yes. Yes. His statement simply was, I use a lot of scripture. When I talk to people, is God a big influence on me? He's the only influence. You see, because I know what it's like to be devastated when you're supposed to be at a certain age, when the world says you should be successful by now. When you lose everything, when everything is taken, and your college degree doesn't help, the fact that you were in the NBA doesn't help, and your friends turn their back on you and you don't have anything, and the only thing that saves you and keeps your mind safe and gives you sanity and gives you joy and gives you peace when you have nothing, and say, guess what? I still have a great plan for your life. I still have something for you to do. You shall live and shall not die. Share this message with people who are in tough situations, especially young people. You live in a generation where it's crazy to go to college right now. I mean, in terms of borrowing money and the debt and all that. I'm not saying don't go to college. Go if you can, or if you desire to go, if the door is open, by all means go. But the world says you have to go. Well, the book I read says you doesn't have to go, because in this book it just simply says, for promotion comes not from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. He's the judge. He puts one up, he sets one down. You know, I read in this book that Adam never went to school and he named every animal in the world. It's just kind of amazing the wisdom that can come upon you when you open yourself up to it. I'm saying be open for new ways to do great things. Don't think you have to walk in paths that your mother walked in, or that people tell you you have to walk in. Because remember one thing, don't just look at people's words where they're sending you. Look at their life. That's how you judge whose advice you want to take. Look at their life. Are they happy? Are they content? You see, you know a fruit by the tree. If you want an apple, eat off an apple tree. If you want an orange, eat off an orange tree. And it's the same thing with people who are pouring into your life. Make sure you're taking advice from people who can help you go where you want to go. It's that simple. That doesn't mean you don't like them. That don't mean you're disrespecting anybody. That's just the real deal. Don't waste my time. I won't waste yours, because you get one chance to shine. That means you get one life. That's the greatest gift you've ever been given. You have one life. Don't waste it trying to be rich and famous. Waste it in being rich and chasing of why you were made the way you were made. Why do I like the things I like? What am I supposed to do with the gifts I give? People think God wants you to go to Hollywood and do what? Just mislead people? No, 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 no. There's something great you can do to change your generation. Anybody else? Right here.
Did you make any strong sacrifices to get to your current career?
Excuse me?
Did you make any strong sacrifices to get to your current career?
Of course, he asked me if I made any chronic or real bad sacrifices to get to my career. You know, one of the sacrifices you have to make when you really surrender to serve God and be a minister is his will, not my will, which means I can't live the normal life that what they call normal. I leave my family at the drop of a dime to go speak to young people like you here and abroad. I don't work for a living. I don't live in the world. I don't. Sometimes there's money, sometimes there's not. That doesn't make sense, but you know what? He says, I provide for the birds of the air and the lilies of the field. Take no thought for tomorrow. You don't have to worry. Take no thought for tomorrow. I know what things you have need of even before you pray and you ask, he tells me. I just believe these things and I live them. And I'm in front of you, sound mind, I'm healthy. All I do in the morning, I get up, I put my wife and my son out to work and to school. I go to the gym, I work out and I study. And I live probably better than I've ever lived in my whole life, because you know why? I understand what he means when he says you can't serve God and mammon, because you chase mammon. You chase money. You think you need money to make it, but let me tell you something. What you need is your eyes open and to find out why you were created the way you were created. And there's a word you need to do research on. It's called favor. Favor. Favor can open doors for you and do things for you that money never can. They never can. It's called favor. And all his favor is his supernatural enablement to do things, go places, and meet people that he has assigned. It's called opening a door that could never be shut by a man or a woman. That's it. It's powerful. Anybody else? Right here. Yes, ma'am.
Was there somebody that
Ma'am?
Was there somebody that you looked up to?
She asked me if there's somebody I was looked up to. Of course. I mean, my dad, when he was around, I lost him December the 19th, 1994. I was blessed to be 25 years old when he departed. My high school basketball coach, my college basketball coach. I've had many people along the way who've been very instrumental in helping me to stay on the path and to be open. But I will tell you, there's been nobody more instrumental in my life in the last 6 years than my relationship with Jesus Christ. There's not a human person I look to right now for wisdom or advice. You know, I choose to be an eagle and fly alone because I understand most people who even say they believe in God desire to be lukewarm. They're contaminated. Many are. Many are. But you know what? I dare to be great because I have a son watching me and following me. I dare to be great because there are a lot of young men I know who want to escape their situations, that the world is not going to help them get out. That they may not like to read. They might not go to college. Does that mean you have to work at Walmart or go in someone's army or live a life of crime in the streets? Absolutely not. Because in this book it says you were made to be a king and a priest. That's pretty powerful to me. A king has a kingdom and a priest has spiritual power. We got to go and find out what that means and open ourselves up to things that are unknown. Anybody else? I'm sorry, right here in the back. Huh? I can't hear you. I'm coming to you now.
How much you getting paid?
How much do I get paid? See what I mean? He going right back to money. This is not about money. I got something greater than money. It's not about money. Yeah, you make money as an NBA basketball player. There's no doubt about it. But it's not about money. Money is minimal. You see, people need to get free from money. And then when you get free from money, you can open up your eyes for something else. And I know that might not make sense to you. You go, what does he mean you got to have money? Read the book. Anybody else? Right here, I'm sorry.
Did anybody ever undermine you?
Did anybody ever what?
Undermine you?
Undermine me? Absolutely. The word for that is called persecution. There are a lot of people, I'm undermined right now today. You know what I'm saying? Because the righteous are as bold as a lion. So when people see that you're excellent or you're trying to be, they will hate you or abhor you. They'll go, who do you think you are? All you got to do is walk in the room. You know, when you carry yourself a certain way, other people will be offended because they dare not walk that path. But that doesn't stop you. You still love them, you still help them, and if they want what you have, you gladly give it to them. That's called love. You give it to them. But you give yourself permission to succeed so you can give other people permission to succeed, and don't shrink to their standards. That's called being a chicken in a chicken coop. And I don't know about you, where I'm from, chickens are cooked in Popeyes, Churchies, and Bojangles. Yeah, they're cooked in chicken joints. Yeah, you've never had any fried eagle, have you? No, they don't fry eagle, but they fry chickens. So if you want to walk in the chicken coop in the chicken yard, realize what could happen. You'll wind up in some hot grease.